Well, we've just gone a few hundred yards. The cathedral's just up there. Only took a few minutes to walk here and to this building. This is the Tourist Information Center, but it is also the home, or used to be the home, of somebody who is either a hero or a villain, depending on your point of view, I suppose. Here we go, par for the course. And those of you that know anything about Ely will probably know whom I am talking of. That fella up there, maybe that fella there, but let's check out the flat. The home of Oliver Cromwell and his family. Cromwell rose to power during the English Civil Wars to become Lord Protector of the Commonwealth during England's brief period as a republic in the mid-17th century. The Cromwell family lived in Ely for some 10 years, from 1636 to 1646. Yes, a very controversial figure, so much so that there's a statue of him right outside the House of Parliament. And if you're Irish, then I think you're more inclined to think of him as a villain. But no doubt there are two sides to every story. In fact, oh look, check this out. Next door to it, St. Mary's Church, and the clock is showing the wrong time. See that so often on public buildings or churches or Lord knows what. Anyway, so you can't always go by clocks. In fact, look at that. There's the cathedral just over there. But I do have, this reminds me of one thing actually. Okay, Oliver Cromwell used to live here, and it's a museum, and it's closed, not normally, but today it's closed from 1:45 to 3 for a private tour. I wasn't sure about visiting anyway, because inside, you know, it's a home. I mean, there's plenty of them. There's nothing particularly different about the inside of it. So, you know, I probably wouldn't have gone anyway, but had I wanted to come here, okay, it's just closed for just over 2 hours, and, you know, I would have adapted, right? But under some circumstances, that could have been a problem, you know, like if I had a train at 4 o'clock or something like that. But because I'm sort of, you know, really wasn't going to go anyway, it's not such a big deal, but it could have been. And it's the same up here. Okay, so there's the cathedral. It's the same up here with the Ladies' Chapel. Today it's normally open. Well, every day it's normally open. But today it's a COVID vaccination centre. So had I particularly wanted to go to that Ladies' Chapel, well, I would have been upset because that's closed all of today. So if you are visiting any places, not just anywhere, I suppose, and if you can, just jump onto the websites just before, just to make sure that something isn't closed. Something you particularly wanted to see isn't closed. You know, for a couple of hours, I guess it's okay. You just work around it. But if it's for a day or longer, you know, that could change your plans. Or you could be disappointed if you didn't know and you didn't change your plans. But if you knew in advance, you know, you could change your plans. And normally, most of these people, they'll put that sort of information on their websites. There's no guarantee to that, of course. And, you know, I would have gone to the Ladies' Chapel if it had been open. But, you know, honey, that's okay. I mean, I want to come back here anyway. Stained Glass Museum, perhaps. Just got my ticket changed to one of those 12 months tickets, so that's not the end of the world. But check this out. It says on that, St. Mary's College. So maybe this is where a religious person used to live, I don't know. Circa 1550, which is not the time. Anyway, and so here we are. So as you can tell, it's really close. Like, so Oliver Cromwell's house is just down there, and the cathedral is just a few hundred yards away from it. But there's one particular thing that I wanted to end this video on that I just saw recently, didn't know about it, and that is, here's a cannon. Cannon's normally there, I guess, quite possibly with flowers stuffed into the barrel. But you see it's a little different now because it is wrapped in the blue and yellow colors of the flag of Ukraine. for all sorts of unfortunate reasons, of course. So hopefully that situation, well, it'd be nice to think that whoever's watching this video, that situation in Ukraine has sorted itself out. And here's the cathedral again. And that is it. And as you can tell, it's been so hot in Cambridge the last few days. It's been an absolute nightmare. But today, I don't know if you can see it, but right now it's sprinkling a little tiny bit. Getting a little wet here. Not so bad. But it's a relief, you know? It really is a relief to be in cooler weather. I mean, I'm not a total fan of rain, I must admit, but nevertheless, that's what makes things green. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this. Bye now, see you soon.